Welcome back to the channel, guys. So today is the final day of preparations for the Super Falcons of Nigeria ahead of their game tomorrow in the quarterfinals of the African Cup of Nations women's category. They have a very important date with Zambian women, which comes up tomorrow 5 p.m. Make sure to catch that one if you're free for it, because it's going to be very interesting, exciting, and challenging, I'm sure, as well for both teams. But speaking on it, there've been a number of stories coming out of the camp of the Super Falcons, and one of those stories is actually unexpected for me when I saw it. It seems that there've been a number of criticisms being channeled to the coach of the side, Coach Justin Madugu, who uh, has been powering the girls throughout this competition. But apparently, Nigerian fans do not really feel happy or pleased with the performances of the girls so far, especially in the group stages where it kind of felt like we didn't really get get our grooves on, as much as we used to see the ladies, because we struggled a lot. We didn't score a lot of goals, although we won two of the group stage games and also drew the last one. But at the end of the day, the fans appear to be asking more from the coach in terms of the tactics, the goal scoring ability, free flowing football, all those kinds of things, defending as well. There's been a lot of criticism coming from these angles, and a lot of people are even doubting that this coach they're doubting that this coach has the capacity to move the girls to where they need to be up there, not just in Africa, because already we are number one in Africa, but also on the global stage to rank higher with these countries, the USA, the Germany and Japan and all of that. So why all of these criticisms have been channeled to the coach, from the fans and some top stakeholders, the girls, that's the players in themselves, they feel very confident with the coach. A number of them have come out recently to talk about how they trust the coach, how the coach is a competent man. He knows his work. Uh, he's a very good tactician, and that he's ambitious and knows what he's doing. One of such players to come out to say, good things about the coach is Christy Ucheibe, the midfielder of the Super Falcons. So while speaking to Brie Life, she came out and said that, um, she came out and said that it's a work in progress, that they are definitely happy with the coach and his tactics and the plans and ambitions for the team. She said the only thing that the coach did, being the players and the team, the only thing that they need from Nigerians is the support, the backing, to go all out and do great things. So this is what Christy Ucheibe has said. By the end of the day, I mean, we cannot take away the fact that there is pressure right now on not just the team, but also the coach himself, who, uh, of course, is going to want to prove doubters wrong. Is going to want to uh, let Nigerian fans know that he is capable, not just by saying it, So definitely, that's going to motivate him to want to win this match tomorrow. But in a case that he doesn't get the result, then obviously I think that might just be the end of his career with the Super Falcons of Nigeria. But we'll see what happens. All the best to the coach, for this game tomorrow. But let's move away from that, guys. Umar Sadiq has now returned back to his Real Sociedad football club, where, of course, he's been in, or he's been at a couple of seasons. Even though things are a little bit shaky, he doesn't really know if he's going to play in this club next season, because there are a number of interests coming in for him, and frankly, the latter part of last season, he didn't really have good rapport with the club, so they had to send him on loan to Valencia, where he performed a little bit, and then the season ended. But now he has returned back to Real Sociedad, and one man, the legend of the Super Eagles of Nigeria, Garba Lawal, is now advising him to move, to leave Real Sociedad and seek for greener pasture, to seek for a place where he can be getting minutes and a lot of minutes to play to show what he really has, to show his quality. This is the advice coming from Garuba Lawal to Umar Sadiq. In this one, he said Sadiq has great qualities that many teams could benefit from. I'm convinced he still has plenty of goals to score. What he needs now is regular first team play, something I doubt West Sociedad can offer him. It's not a question of talent, but rather of the playing system. This club doesn't play with a true pivotal central forward. When he was lacking playing time, I always encouraged him not to give up. I told him to keep working hard and stay ready. Football has its ups and downs. He's a he's a determined player who wants to play. If Elche or another club offers him regular playing time, he should go for it. At this stage of his career, that's what matters most. And I know he still has a lot to offer. So these are the words coming in from Garuba Lawal to Umar Sadiq. Apparently, from his statement, he's close to Umar Sadiq and he's been leaning to him. Umar Sadiq has been leaning towards him for advice, and things like that. But at the end of the day, I think it's definitely a good advice, for Umar Sadiq to try and revive his career because the fact is he's not very young. I think he has reached 28 years old, so every minute counts right now. He has to make haste and do what he needs to do to to play football, to keep showing himself and keep appearing out there to show his quality. So that's the advice coming from the legend to Umar Sadiq, about his move. What do you think about it? Do you think it's a good idea to move to another club or should he stay at Sociedad and fight for his shirt? Well, moving on, guys, let's talk about other transfers. Wilfred Ndidi is someone who has now interest Fenerbahce very much, and they are looking at bringing him to Turkey. Of course, you know that Wilfred Ndidi plays for Leicester City, who got relegated last season, and when they did get relegated, his release clause was triggered, or his release clause, was reduced to around 11 million euros. That was part of the contract that if in the event they go to relegation, then he will be available for sale for 11 million euros. And that's actually very cheap, or I would say relatively cheap, for a player of Ndidi stature. And right now, a lot of clubs are circling, trying to see, the possibility of signing him. It's not just Fenerbahce, but there've also been a couple of clubs in Bundesliga who are showing interest. We'll see what happens in the coming days concerning that one.